Recent surveys show that one of the most challenging aspects of life at UC Davis is successfully maneuvering the many bike circles on campus. This alternative to the four-way stop model continues to baffle students of all ages, but especially incoming freshmen who, within their first few weeks, are the source of an inordinate amount of collisions. I have met with a team of research geometers who have given me their theory as to what could possibly cause such an anomaly.
You know, I have spent years working on this question, trying to figure out why exactly people have such difficulty with bike circles. I've analyzed possible angles and trajectories, but when it comes to actual field observations, none of these factors have an effect on the amount of confusion people have. That was when I had an epiphany. The number of people in a given bike circle has no effect on the amount of collisions, and neither do those assholes who think they can go really fast and they're actually going really slow, and they get in front of you and you have to slam your brakes to try to avoid crashing into them. No. Bike collisions are caused by an underlying anxiety.
So my colleague came to me with this question about bike circles. And I gotta admit, it caught my interest right away. So even though, I had a hunch, but what my team did is we exposed our subjects to these different shapes. And what we found was exactly what I've been saying this whole time. Circles are just naturally confusing. They're the most complex, paradoxical shape in the known universe. They're both complex and simple, natural and unnatural. They're almost supernatural. And this makes them incredibly intimidating. So, yeah, it's perfectly reasonable for somebody to enter one of these bike circles and be confronted with a incredible amount of anxiety.
One of my main hypotheses was that the underlying problem, the true core issue at hand from which all other problems stemmed, was the fact that circles have an infinite number of edges. Now, infinity is a very scary thing. I mean, I personally had to have an extensive amount of training to deal with the sheer enormity of the number of angles. It's just so big, it can't even be measured, ever, by anybody. It's fucking infinite. Breathe, Lester. It's okay, Lester. Breathe.
You are Lester, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Anyway, we conducted an experiment in which we tested how subjects deal with the nature of infinity and circles. We gave an experimental group extensive training on dealing with the nature of circles, and the results showed that these participants were far less anxious and confused when entering a bike circle. As a result, there were far fewer collisions, rear ends, and racial hate crimes. Of course, it helps if the subjects have a basic understanding of the English language and what the word yield means.
These findings have been submitted to the Journal of Shapes in Biking for review. If the research is in fact replicable, all universities that employ bike circles in their traffic control systems will be mandated to enforce attendance at a week-long circle familiarization course as part of their orientation program. This is expected to reduce skull fractures, drownings, and sexually transmitted diseases by 2%, 50%, and 74% respectively. I'm Josh Strauss, and for Aggie Studios, this has been the important news. Up next, why you never hear cows complaining about that nasty human smell.